station of Fox Sports.
15 wins versus 5 losses for Tampa Bay, matching the most wins in April in team history. Tonight, the Rays look to keep the good times rolling. James Shields takes the hill against left-hander Dallas Braden and the AL West leading A's. Catch all the action on Sun Sports. Tonight, the Rays continue their stay at home. They'll be wrapping up this 2-game set. Second of 3 series on this extended homestand. And tonight, the Tampa Bay Rays play host to the Oakland A's. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Kevin Kennedy. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis as well throughout the evening. Well, the Rays have the best record in baseball. They are 15-5. They built a 2.5-game lead in the very tough American League East, and they've done it, Kevin, by being a team. It has been a situation where all the elements of the Rays club, starting with offense, has been very good.
More depth this year than last year, and probably in 08 as well. It's a better lineup, more depth all the way around, just good balance. I mean, 121 runs scored, leads the American League. The batting average for runners in scoring position well over 300. Execution baseball offensively. The guys just talked about Derek Shelton in the pregame show. He's really helped in that regard as well. And then the starting pitching especially leads the American League. The starters ERA under 3, 1 through 5. We talked about that in spring training. This is going to be one of the best staffs in Major League Baseball, 1 through 5 in this rotation. And the defense was really one of our keys in the preseason. Really, they have to execute defensively, especially in the American League East. You can't give up extra outs there, 4-out, 5-out innings. You just can't do it. The American League, period, but especially in the East, they're tied for 3rd in fielding percentage.
And so you put all that together, and it's a great start, just as Joe Madden had hoped for coming out of spring training. Great pitching matchup tonight. The Rays will send the veteran of their pitching staff, James Shields, to start the second game against Oakland.
Yeah, you know, such a complement of pitching. We got power guys, we got guys with great off-speed stuff. And James has a little bit of all that. He's got a fastball in the 92, 93 at times, but one of the best changeups in Major League Baseball. So he's coming off, a 2-0 record now coming into this start. ERA in the 3s. We know he's been the workhorse the last 3 years. Gives you 215 innings plus every single year. On the other side, another lefty that the Rays have to face, Dwayne, and Dallas Braden.
Well, he's 3-0 on the year with a 277 earned run average, and he's coming off a very good start against the New York Yankees. This guy is tough, as the Rays have found out throughout his brief career. In fact, as you look at Shields and Braden against their opponents tonight, Braden 3-1 against the Rays, and Shields 3-1 against the Oakland A's. Now, the Rays have won 3 of the first 4 games on this homestand, including last night's 8-6 victory. They'll wrap it up against Oakland here tonight. When we come back, John Jaso, who's been red hot since his arrival from Durham, Todd Callis takes a closer look. Rays and the A's. Oakland leading the American League West by a half game over the Angels. And the Rays with a 2.5 game lead over New York in the American League's Eastern Division. Right now, let's go to Todd Callis.
Game last night, Joe Madden mentioned how you got to get the write-in votes going for John Jaso. I think he was joking, but Jaso has been unbelievable since taking over with Kelly Shofik hurt and Deontay Navarro injured for a couple of games, then suspended. He'll make his fourth start in a row tonight. Last night, he improved his overall average to 518 at-bats. He's got 7 RBIs. He went 3 for 4 in last night's game, and he continues to call a very solid game as well for the Rays. That defense has improved tremendously since the early part of spring training for John Jaso. This is our website Wednesday, and a reminder, as always, every day we have our Auto-Way poll question on Sun Sports. The question is this: what has been the most impressive aspect of the Rays' 15-5 start? Do you think it's been the starting pitching with James Shields on the mound tonight? If so, text TB1. If you think it's the offense, text TB2, the bullpen TB3, or the team depth TB4. You can text your vote to 789-789, standard message, and data rates to apply. And finally, guys, on Website Wednesday. Web Wednesday is always about Ask the Announcers. So Dwayne Stats and Kevin Kennedy are ready for all your questions. Log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com, click on the Rays link, and ask away. We are ready for baseball. Rays and A's on a Wednesday night from Tropicana Field. Dallas Braden, the lefty. James Shields, the opening day starter for Tampa Bay, making his 5th start. Enjoy all the action with Dwayne and Kevin next in high definition.
Toyota dealer. You could buy a car that compares itself to a Toyota, or you could just buy a Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T. Rethink possible. Inside Tropicana Field, it will be a comfortable 72 degrees tonight for the second game of this 2-game set. 2 first-place teams go at it. Cliff Pennington leads off for Oakland, their shortstop. He homered last night. Derek Barton, the first baseman, at second, ahead of the right fielder Ryan Sweeney. In the DH spot, Eric Chavez hitting cleanup ahead of Kevin Kuzmanoff and Gabe Gross. Jake Fox will catch with Eric Patterson in left. And last night, Adam Rosales, the second baseman, had his first 4-hit game of his career.
This A's lineup will face James Shields, right-hander, in his 5th start of the year. He's 2-0 with a .396 earned run average. 25 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts and 9 walks, and he is the veteran of the staff at age 28.
So Oakland with a record of 12-9 atop the West, the Rays atop the East, and here is first pitch of the game. It's a bit inside, so we're underway right on time with Andy Fletcher calling the balls and strikes tonight. It's foul straight back, going to head into the upper deck. That's the first souvenir of the evening. 1-1. Pennington with 3 home runs, including the home run he hit in the 3rd inning last night, a 3-run home run, hit it off a fastball. Takes this pitch high. It's 2-1. And a high fly ball back into straightaway center field, where B.J. Upton camps under it and makes the catch. 1 away.
Here's the rest of the Rays defensively. In the outfield, Carl Crawford in left. You just saw B.J. Upton in center and Gabe Kapler in right. Nevin Longoria at third base. Jason Bartlett at short. Ben Zobrist at second base tonight, and Carlos Pena at first base, and John Jaso behind the plate doing the game calling for James Shields.
Joe Madden, the Rays skipper. He had the Rays out working early yesterday, and some early work, particularly with the catching today. Here's Barton hitting a long drive into deep right. Kapler back, looking up, and that's going to get out of here. Barton jumped on the first pitch and hits a fastball into the seats in right field. That's his first home run of the year, and Oakland breaks out in front. Barton was a late addition to the lineup last night. He suffered a fracture in his finger 2 days ago. Hits a home run, first time up tonight.
That's just a fastball, pretty much right down the middle. James was trying to go away and left it over the heart of the plate. Barton wasted no time.
Sweeney hits it on the ground. One hop to Pena. Shields covers, and he got the corner of the bag, dragging that foot. So Sweeney's out of there. Pena to Shields. Barton insisted upon playing last night. Forced his way into Bob Guerin's lineup. He went 0 for 5. But homers his first time up tonight. Eric Chavez pitches down to him. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. In fact, Pennington and Barton are the only 2 Oakland players to have been in every game for Oakland. They've started all 21 games this year. Out of play, 2-1. There's Bob Guerin, the skipper, former catcher.
Boy, time goes. 4th season already. Bob Guerin.
That's a strike to square the count. 2-2. And he's out on strikes. Changeup takes care of Chavez. Oakland with a run home. We go to the bottom of the first. 1-0. John Jaso starts again tonight behind the plate, batting ninth.
Another lefty the Rays have to face in Dallas Braden. He's had 4 starts. Excellent record so far at 3-0 and a 2.77 earned run average. And the key, only 4 walks so far this season. That is third lowest in the American League. 1.38 walks per 9. So he's around the plate. He likes to paint it up.
So let's see if the Rays attack him early because of his excellent control. Here's the thing. He doesn't walk in. If you do get on base, he's not going to let you steal.
Right.
He's just as likely to pick you off. 1-1 to count.
Yeah, and he's not a guy that's going to blow you away. He's around 87, what you see right there with the fastball, 87, 88.
A little popper on in on Bartlett a little bit. That's the first out with a pop to second.
The Oakland A's defensively, they're 9th in the American League in fielding percentage. Go this way. Eric Patterson in left. Gabe Gross in center. Ryan Sweeney in right field. Around the infield, Kevin Kuzminoff at third. Cliff Pennington at short. Adam Rosales at second. Derek Barton at first base. And Jake Fox behind the plate tonight.
Crawford waves and misses. The Rays have missed Kurt Suzuki, their outstanding catcher. He's had a side injury. He was in the lineup tonight and was a late deletion from the Oakland lineup. Carl behind in the count. Still 2 strikes. Just 26 years old. Dallas Braden spent some time going to school at Texas Tech University. This one is down. He's out of Stockton, California. He was not a pampered child, but he battled his way through and has made himself a very good major league pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now full count. It's been tough against left-handed hitters this year. They're hitting only 160 off him. Crawford with a little tap by the pitcher. Kuzminoff with a pickup and a wide throw. Barton leaves the bag to corral the throw, and that's a base hit for Crawford.
It's a good effort by Dallas Braden because he knew if he didn't get it, there was no chance for Kuzminoff. He makes a dive for it, going to his right. Of course, for a left-handed pitcher, he'd fall off that way a little bit, so he had a shot at it. But once it got by him, there was no chance to get Carl.
Well, speed at first. But he is tough against opposing base runners. Ben Zobrist at second base tonight will step in there against Brayton. Look at this. He has not allowed a stolen base since August the 20th of 08.
That's pretty amazing right there.
Pitch is a strike.
You can see why. He just picks his right foot up barely and acts like a slide step. So he's very quick to the plate. That's got to be about a 1.0, 1.1 to the plate by the time he moves, by the time it hits the catcher's glove, the ball.
It's fouled back. Well, he's so good that people just don't try to run. For an example, last year for him, there were only 2 stolen base attempts with him on the mound. And they were resulted in 2 caught stealings, and he had a pickoff, a straight pickoff as well. So the opposing base runners just stay put with him on the mound. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Crawford advances to second. Base base hit for Ben, and the Rays have 2 men on.
And that's really what you have to do on Dallas Braden, is just let it get deeper into the count, and then you can run based on the count. He went first 3 pitches twice. He went very quick to the plate, and you'd have no chance to steal on that. So let the hitters do some damage first.
Yeah, and utilize the base running, going first to third and
Absolutely.
second to home.
Yep.
And the Rays are pretty good at that. That was a point of emphasis again this spring from Joe Madden and his staff to the Rays, and they've been very good in that department.
Well, the more you can make him go quick to the plate with this speed of the Rays, the more better pitches you're going to get at home plate to hit. You just can't concentrate on both. It's going to take a little bit of the edge away from you as a pitcher.
Rosales trying to keep Crawford close to second with his great speed.
Of course, for the lefty, you got to watch it throw down to second on a double steal, not just third base.
And Longoria waves and misses. Evan hitting .320 for the year, .321 against lefties.
Evan swinging it bat well the last 4 especially. Well over 400.
You know, Zobrist with that base hit, he's the one guy in this lineup for the Rays who's had success. He's now 5 out of 7 against Dallas Braden. That's a strike. 0-2.
This is 89 miles an hour right on the inside corner. Just paints Evan up. Inside corner and at the knees. That's Braden's game right there. That's how he pitches. Location and changing speeds.
Well, he can pinpoint his pitches. It's a ball down and in, and he has Andy Fletcher behind the plate. And there is some school of thought that you might get the plate widened just a little bit with Fletcher, and if that's the case, you know Braden's going to try to take advantage of that. Ground ball, hold at shortstop. Bennington to Rosales to get the force there. 2 gone, that's all they get. Crawford goes to third, and Longoria's aboard at first base, a fielder's choice.
Well, he is quick, Dallas Braden. He is a 1.1 to the plate. And what that means is if a runner's on first and tries to steal, a good base runner like Carl Crawford can get down with a lead about 3.1 seconds. So if a catcher's under 2.0 from glove to glove, then Braden's a guy that you would be able to throw Carl Crawford out. Now, if you're quicker than that, like we saw the other day, like a Jose Molina, I mean, that's 1.8 plus 1.1. That's 2.9. That's going to blow up the best base runners in the game.
Move to first. Right back in goes Longoria. And that happened, as we saw, against Molina, who threw out 4 straight Rays runners in the first 4 innings, including Crawford twice.
If you're just a good base stealer and you get down there in 3.3 seconds, let's say, or 3.2, you don't have to be that quick as a catcher. So Jake Fox, he can be a 2.1 from glove to glove and still get a good base runner.
Pena hits it on the ground, but shading to hole, Rosales at second makes the play. And so the Rays, with a couple hits, they lead 2, and through 1, it's 1-0 Oakland.
people can ask on Web Wednesday the announcers a question. Just log on to foxsportsflorida.com. Click on the Rays link. Our first question comes from Kevin, and he wants to know if John Jaso continues to play this well. Is it possible he could stay on the team the rest of the year, guys?
Well, I think there's a good chance that he's going to spend more time in the big leagues than he thought he might when spring training broke. Kuzminoff fouls one away. The idea that Kelly Shopik just started to get back just really a couple days ago, riding a bike, the exercise bike, in 6 weeks, probably the best case scenario for Shopik. Bartlett will take care of Kuzminoff here with a throw to first. And so you figure Jaso is going to be here for that period of time, and he's made a strong case for himself. And Kevin, his hitting has been so impressive, but I'll tell you what I've been excited about with John Jaso. The progress he's made as a catcher makes it possible for him now to have a substantial major league career.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. And how many left-handed hitting catchers are there in the big leagues that can hit with power? They can also play good defense behind the plate. And Jaso, first impressions are important when you first come up to the big leagues, and that will sit a long way in Joe Maddon's mind, I guarantee you. Now, who knows, a couple months from now, if he has to go back down, I mean, he's a guy that's getting his opportunity, and somebody else's misfortune is another guy's opportunity, and Jaso's made the most so far of his opportunity. So let's just let this play out. Those are good problems for managers to have, that you know you got depth in your organization.
That's a strike, and I'll tell you this, he's 9 from 18. He's hitting .500. He's swung the bat so well, but he could be hitting .200, and Joe Maddon would like what he's seen out of him already. He's blocked pitches. He's done the things that a catcher is supposed to do. So this has been a great opportunity for him, as Gross is out on strikes, 2 gone. All right, Todd, that's one. What's the next one?
We're going right to the next one, which is from Karen. She wants to know why occasionally you'll see an infielder intentionally bounce a throw to the first baseman, especially on field turf or AstroTurf, guys.
Well, I'll defer to you, but Kevin, basically the hop is true, and that's one of the reasons that they think they can do that. David Concepcion, one of the greatest of all time at shortstop, did that all the time.
Yeah, there are some guys that take the ball in the hole from shortstop like Derek Jeter and like to do that jump throw and get it across in the air. David Concepcion would backhand the ball in old Riverfront Cincinnati on the turf, and rather than jump, he would just plant and throw a one hopper because it would skip over there true, like you said, and he thought he could get it over there quicker that way, and he couldn't maybe reach it all the way across. So a nice one hopper became very effective. Like he broke his wrist to me.
Sure did, but Adrian Johnson said no, and the count is 1-1. A little check swing number, barehanded pickup, and the throw hits Fox. It's going to be backed up by Zobrist, so Fox will reach on that little number.
Probably get an infield hit out of it. No, get an error out of it. Shields throws right into the back. Yeah, good throw. He's got him. No question about that. It runs right into the back of Fox. It's on the left shoulder blade, looked like. So an errant throw.
So with 2 outs, an error charged to Shields. It's the 11th error of the year committed by the Rays. There's Eric Patterson. Off the plate in. 1 ball and no strikes. So with 2 away, Jake Fox is at first base. One and one. She was touched for the first inning home run by Derek Barton. And he's ahead of Patterson. 1 and 2.
Nice change up there. Good arm speed on that. It's like a fastball to the hitter. About 11 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour slower.
Johnson's out on strikes. That takes care of Oakland. An error and a man left. We go to the bottom half of the inning. 1-0. Rays facing Dallas Braden, 26-year-old left-hander. And there will be no pitch. Time called as Fletcher walked away from back of the catcher. Rays have faced some tough left-handers so far this year, and they're facing another one tonight. And Braden, the pitch is down, a ball and no strikes. 4 of the 5 Rays losses have come when they have opposed a starting left-hander.
Well, he does work quick, so you got to get ready. That little tailing two-seam fastball right there. And BJ out in front of it, pulled off a little bit.
Shoots it into right center field. That will be in there for extra bases. On his way to second as Sweeney makes the throw back toward the infield, and the Rays have a leadoff double.
That's a nice adjustment by BJ. Pulled off the last one and went with this one. They tried to go in on him. He left it up over the plate. Almost the identical location as the one before, because Dallas Braden missed location and BJ gets that ball right in the gap for the double. That's your Chuckers double of the game right there.
So he's in scoring position to open the inning. The Rays have lost games started by Mattis against Baltimore, Sabathia, the Yankees, Danks with the White Sox, and Cecil with Toronto. Those are the 4 losses they've had against left-handed pitchers when they start games. But they've also beaten Mattis. They beat Lester of the Red Sox and Burley of the White Sox and Romero of the Blue Jays. And those are very tough left-handers as well. Willie Ibar takes a strike. But overall, coming in, the Rays hitting just .223 against left-handed pitching. So they're going to see a lot of them.
Well, I was going to say, if you see enough of them, you'll start hitting them.
Yep.
Because you will. It's repetition. You get used to them. There's a lot more lefties in the league now than I remember back, in my days in the mid-'90s. There's just so many good lefties, and a lot of them are guys that have great off-speed pitches. It's not. I don't see the Randy Johnsons of the world. Good lefties with good control.
And no pitch. Time call. We've seen that a little bit more already tonight, particularly in that situation, than we've seen all year out of a plate umpire. They've been reluctant to give time.
Yeah, and Dallas Braden, I mean, he will quick pitch it. You got to have time to get set, to get ready.
Ground ball to short. Pennington makes the throw to first. That'll be the first out here in the inning. Season's underway. Not too late to join the Rays with the Rays season ticket plans. Ensure you get the best seats, biggest savings, and all the great benefits. Call 888-FAN-RAYS tonight. Representatives are standing by. Now Gabe Kapler. Gabe's hitting .263 against lefties for the year. First pitch is a strike. He was used almost exclusively against lefties last year, Kapler. And he had .276 against him. There's the breakout this year. One and one.
There's a fine line on calling time, too. If the pitcher's already started, they're not going to call time for you. It's too late.
It's in there for a strike.
A change up right there. Gabe thought it was outside. Let's see what Foxtrack says. That looks right on the corner. Yep. Paint.
So Kapler is behind in the count. Two and two. Braden's fastball not overpowering. He also will run a slider into a right-handed hitter. It's a foul ball coupled with the changeup, and we've seen that already a lot here in this inning.
That was one right there. Gabe Kapler just did cue it off the end of the bat right there.
The 2-2. And a liner into left. Upton will have to stop at third. Patterson up with the ball quickly. A line drive base hit. So the Rays have collected 4 hits here. They have met at first and third with only 1 out.
Good at bat by Gabe. We talked about him in the pregame show that he will lay a bat on him whenever he gets his opportunity. And he got a 2-seamer away, and he just went down and got it, got through it. All hands right there. And his hands and arms are so strong, he hit a line drive, sharp single.
John Jaso. Really impressive numbers at the plate. He bounces it down the first base side. Barton's coming home, and the throw off the net of Fox. Upton scores. Kapler to third, and into second base, Jaso. And the Rays tie this game. Upton's speed coming down the line, and Barton's throw up a little bit. So that's an error charged to Barton.
BJ going on contact as he should. Barton's only play really was at home, and it's like he short-strided himself. He stumbled there as he hit the turf at the lead leg. There's BJ breaking off immediately. Little hesitation.
Now Jason Bartlett bounds it back. Strike one.
I think we'll have one more time at Barton. Watch his feet right here. Watch his left leg. Looks like he kind of catches the cleat right there. And really didn't get a good stride, and he threw that ball away. I think he was trying to guide it in there rather than just let it fly.
Bartlett with 2 men in scoring position takes a strike, and he's down in the count 0-2. Bartlett's been so good in these situations. 9 of 17 coming into the game.
Well, we talked about a lineup turnover in the pregame show as well, and here it is. Bottom two guys have gotten on base. BJ, of course, started this, and a chance for Jason to do it once again. We'll see.
And a little popper right side. Rosales starts out, and it falls outside of his glove. Kapler scores. Into third goes Jaso, and Bartlett is in at second base with the Rays taking a 2-1 lead. And how about that? It really appeared that Rosales was going to catch it, and suddenly that arm got shorter.
It sure did. I don't know if he felt the right fielder Sweeney coming or not, but he had a little alligator arm right there. Plenty of hang time. Let's take a look at Rosales. At the last second, split second, he did pick up Sweeney. He took his eye off the ball. He did see Sweeney coming at the last instant, and that cost him.
And that's going to be a double for Bartlett. A run batted in. The Rays now with 5 hits. They've picked up a couple runs in the inning. Crawford fouls a fastball straight back, strike one.
And really, Sweeney wasn't that close to him. I think he just thought he heard footsteps and took his eye off the ball just at the very last instant, and it fell in. I don't know that Sweeney would have got to it anyway.
Covered up by Fox. 1-1.
Right here. He's calling for it. Rosales is calling for it right there. Yeah, Sweeney's not even in the picture yet, so it was Rosales' ball. Yeah, he didn't quite track it into the glove. I think he took a peek at Brian Sweeney.
Two and one.
You got to pick these up when they give them to you. You got to pick them up right here. At least contact, at least a ground ball somewhere up the middle, get a run in.
Crawford fouls one. It's 2-2. And the Rays with 2 men in scoring position. They've scored twice and lead 2-1. Crawford is out on strikes. Strikeout for Dallas Braden, and that's exactly what he wanted there.
Yeah, and he went for it too with 2 strikes. 89 miles an hour. Look at the sink on this one. That's a good pitch. Tough pitch.
Now Ben Zobrist. The Rays hopeful that his string of success against Braden can continue here. Pitch is a strike. One and one. Braden pitching in a little tough luck here in this inning. A couple of defensive lapses behind him. One that went for a double. Ball. That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, he doesn't hit the heart of the plate very often. Dallas Braden, it's a good pitch right here. Look at that box in the middle. I mean, it's all black. That's off the inside corner. Says Fox tracks.
Zobrist gets time again.
But you know, that's if you're going to miss, that's what the idea is. The idea is not to miss over the heart of the plate when you try to come in, because that's in your wheelhouse. Home run pitch. So that's a good pitch by Dallas Braden. You got the edge by the umpire, but that's where you want to go if you're going to go inside.
Ground ball, shortstop this time. Pennington's throw to first in time, and the Rays leave a couple, but score twice. And at the end of 2, it's 2-1 Tampa Bay.
happen on Web Wednesday. You can always go to FoxSportsFlorida.com, click on the Rays link, and ask your question. Then we had a lot of people that were curious about Jaso. Joel, Adrian, and Case, and also we're glad you guys answered that question. Now Diego wants to know about Ben Zobrist. He wants to know if you think Ben Zobrist might be pressing a little bit in the 3 spot in the lineup, guys.
All right. Rosales takes the first pitch, and that's a little high. 1-0. Oh, I think he might, but the biggest difference, I think, he had such a great year last year. Wherever he hit, he was going to see a different variety of pitches, and I think he's seen a lot more breaking balls this year than he saw a year ago.
He's being pitched differently. There's no doubt about it in my mind about that. And if I were catching against him, I would do it too. And when he makes his adjustment, and he will, then he'll start seeing some more fastballs. But I think there's times too that Ben is caught in between. We've seen him strike out looking on fastballs because now they got in his head, well, I'm going to see all breaking balls or off-speed stuff. And then when he does get a cookie, he's taking it for a third sometimes. So it's a period of adjustment. But all that being said, the Rays are 15-5, so this has been working out.
Yep, it sure has. I'm sure you cannot quarrel. And one of the reasons he's hitting third is that he had a great on-base percentage. And Joe Madden, well aware of every component of his club. There's a nice pitch. Strike 3 call.
Change up.
First out. Strikeout number 4.
James has a good changeup. You see the grip right there. Good arm speed. It's like a fastball to the hitter, and it freezes him right there.
So we'll go to the top side of the order. Cliff Pennington. Strike call. So you can't, Kevin, you can't quarrel with success. They are 15-5.
And the best record in the game. I mean,
scoring runs.
I am a believer that.
And then the liner down to Pena.
But you want your best hitter hitting in the first inning, but which I think overall is Evan. But right now it's working out, and you ride it out until it doesn't. Then you can make adjustments later on, just like when Bartman finally became the leadoff hitter last year. If you need to make that adjustment, Joe Madden will do that when he needs to.
2 gone. Hey, we've got another question. Todd?
To know about the emphasis being placed on concussions in sports. Do you guys think there should be new rules added to really protect the catcher for home plate collisions?
Pitch to Martin. It is a strike, and I really I don't have much of a feel that there should be anything new. The catcher. In those situations, the catcher is the one who's got all the equipment on with the runner coming in.
The thing is, you really have to teach guys how to block the plate correctly, and I just don't see it enough around Major League Baseball. I see guys opening up to make a tag. You've got to really brace yourself with your right leg and protect yourself with the left side of your body. That's your strongest part. You brace yourself with the right leg. I see too many guys getting a throw and then opening up and exposing their body, and then they get run over, and that's how you get hurt. Mike Socia was the best I've ever worked with and or seen, and we taught all of our catchers in those days, Mike Piazza, Darren Fletcher, Carlos Fernandez, whoever, to do it that way, and they never got hurt. They never got hurt blocking the plate.
Kevin, and you're obviously the catcher in the booth here. I don't know what they can legislate that would make any impact.
That's part of the game. I mean, there's times when it's do or die plays, and you want to take the plate away from the runner and make him slide outside. If he comes through you, he's coming. That's when you have to get down lower than the runner. But the main thing I see with some catchers in the league all the way around, I'm not talking about right here, as James Shields gets the call right here, excellent pitch, is that guys expose themselves. They're not taught properly how to block, some of them.
3-2, struck toward right center field. Kepler on the road is there and makes the grab to retire the side. Gabe Kepler racing into right center field, makes a nice grab. Rays lead. good sound effects. Here's Evan Longoria to lead off the home half of the third. Rays with 2 runs in the second inning. Longoria lifts a popper back at first. Barton's after it, and it's going to be just out of his reach. He had a little difficulty tracking that one, trying to catch up to it, but also get the right angle on it. Strike 1.
Doing his best to track it. Pretty good effort. And he ran out of room. He did kind of lose it right there because he was running toward the stands and it hit the turf. There is a light roof up there and lights.
And now Longoria looks a high fly ball. A lot of room for Gabe Gross, though, and he makes the catch. So Gabe is out there and very familiar with playing the roof here at Tropicana Field.
He's the only one left, right? That's white like that. Minnesota is no longer.
That's it. Got a few retractable domes now, but nothing quite like that. Here's Pena.
This one's not as tough, though, as Minnesota. There was nothing like Minnesota's. That's right. You had to actually go out there early for extra work and work on pop flies when you go on the road against the Twins in those days.
A ball, no strikes, the count to Carlos Pena. Carlos getting time. All of that from the hitter's perspective is just trying to not allow Braden to gain an advantage.
Right. He likes to work fast and get in that rhythm. That's what it's about for him.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The hitters just don't want to be quick pitch. They want to gather themselves a little bit, get in the box, and get ready. I asked Hunter Winterstadt the other day, what would happen if, in Mike Hargrove's days, the human rain delay at home plate.
It's inside. 3-1. Mike Hargrove was the human rain delay when he had.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
A long time with the Texas Rangers and a very good left-handed hitter, but he had some of the longest at bats and fewest pitches. He took a lot of time between pitches. And he worked the count as well to extend at bats, but a lot of that was spent outside the batter's box. A 3-1 count to Carlos Pena. Now Jake Fox is going to go to the mound.
Well, this is just about, hey, let's be right. Jake Fox called one pitch. Dallas Braden called something else. And I think Jake Fox is trying to stay away from a solo home run here in a 3-1 count. But, your pitcher really, he's got a pretty good feel for what he wants to do. So you really go with your pitcher. Let him make the final call.
Pena pops it up. It's a foul ball headed toward the stands. Fox back, but it's out of play. And the count will go to 3-2.
A breaking ball right there. So Braden didn't want to challenge Carlos with a fastball. Understandably, Carlos hit 39 home runs last year. Changeup.
And a piece of it foul.
I actually like that. We see a lot of lefties that have great changeups that won't use one of their best pitches against left-handed hitters for fear it'll kind of drop down and into their swings. But you throw one like that, it's very effective.
He stayed away from the fastball behind in the count. Full count here, 3-2. And down the left field side, that ball is a foul ball. He did go fastball there. And I'm just thinking Carlos does have the home run of John Lester this year, the left-hander, and that came off a fastball. And that one had home run distance right down the line, but it sliced on him.
Yeah, it had a chance. And this ball's off the outside corner, too. You got to swing at it. It's too close to take, but pretty good distance for Carlos on that one. Braden trying to stay away from his power.
3-2 again. And there's a high fly ball back into right. Sweeney on the track and makes the catch. He had about a step and a half, maybe 2 steps left before he went back to the wall. 2 gone.
Well, that's a good at bat by Carlos Pena. He just did miss that. Get underneath it just a bit. It's like a little cutter right there. And it was flat and over the heart of the plate. And maybe just a hair a little bit off the end. Not quite on the sweet spot. Otherwise, that's way out.
B.J. Upton takes one down. B.J. went the other way. Lined it into right center field for a 2-base hit in the second inning. And a little number off the mound. Braden with a pickup and the throw, and that takes care of the Rays. 1, 2, 3 they go. We're through 3, and it's 2-1 Tampa Bay. Sweeney will lead it off, and it's time to take a look at tonight's AT trivia question. Which team has the most wins this year from their starting rotation? Sweeney takes one outside. Sweeney grounded out his first time. Balled it down to Carlos Pena. 2-0. Stroke toward left center field. That's in there. Crawford cuts it off. Sweeney's on his way to second, and he will arrive ahead of the throw. Sweeney strokes a double, his 5th 2-base hit of the year. Hit number 2 for Oakland.
Yeah, he got 3 fastballs away. First ones were for balls, so he had the count in his favor. He just goes right with it. It's a nice swing. So sets up outside. The ball is outside. Sweeney just goes right with it and shoots in the gap.
Eric Chavez takes a big swing and fouls it. Well, Chavez, 32 years old, and all kinds of shoulder and back problems. Hard to get back to the point where he's more or less their everyday designated hitter, and we saw him play some first in the spring, and he worked a lot with Mike Gallego, their infield instructor and third base coach, getting comfortable over at first. Should he have to play there any more than he does?
And he just saw a different look from James Shields. A couple of curveballs. He got fooled on both of them.
And he's out in front of the changeup. So nothing straight there. And a good changeup to finish it.
That's a great sequence right there. A couple of overhand curveballs that came down and in at his feet. And then look at his fade of his changeup. Away and down out of the zone. Great sequence from Shields. He goes for a strikeout changeup, and he got it.
That'll be Kuzmanov. Hopper headed for the stands. Pena starts, but has no chance. One strike. Kuzmanov. It's been a brief time. A couple of years ago in the American League, he came up through the Indians system. Spent the last few years in San Diego, where his power developed with a chance to play pretty much every day in the big leagues. 1-1.
I believe he got traded for Josh Barfield, didn't he? The second baseman.
He was in that deal.
Jesse Barfield's son.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got a good one tonight. Good changeup right there. You know, good recognition too in these sequences, because especially Kuzmanov, he's a first ball hitter, and he started him off with a breaking ball, then a fastball in, and come back with a changeup right there down.
Managed to get a little piece of that one. Now Shields has thrown 2 or 3 of those changeups tonight that might be the best ones he's thrown all year.
Real good, yep. Real good action down with some tailing away to lefties. Bottom falling out to Kuzmanov.
Ground ball for Bartlett at short, comes up on him. He recovers and makes a high throw, and that's going to wind up in the dugout. Well, Sweeney might get the plate on this, because they're going to give Kuzmanov second, and now Sweeney, who had stopped at third, is being awarded the plate. That's going to tie the game.
Yeah. Yep, 2 bases on that, absolutely. That's the right call. And, you know, Jason kind of laid back on that one, and the ball ran up his wrist. And then he threw sidearm to get it over there quickly and airmailed it over Carlos Pena's head. Doesn't happen very often. We talked about the defense, how good it's been, and that's unfortunate, because Shields made some good pitches there to Kuzmanov.
Here's Gabe Gross. Moved a strike and a good opening pitch right there.
But, you know, Jason's picked the offense up and the pitchers up a lot with his big hits with runners in scoring position. So now it's time for Shields to pick up his defense right here. That's what pulling together is.
One ball, 1 strike. The error charged to Bartlett, the second error the Rays have been charged with tonight. The other one assessed to Shields. One and 2. Change up. change up in the second inning. This one away. Shields will start that pitch off the plate, try to cut it over, and it stayed out that time.
Yep, it did. Yeah, that was a little cutter right there in the back door. Missed wide. But he's mixing speeds pretty well, changing location, too.
And he got him. So he went away with the cutter prior and then came right back with a good changeup tonight. Picks up his 6th strikeout.
Yeah, another good sequence. Getting that changeup. The bottom falls out, has some nice fade to it going down and away. Down out of the zone, but off the plate, too. Good pitch.
That's Jake Fox. Strike one. Fox there appeared to be looking off speed.
He sure was.
He got that fastball right by him.
Yeah, that was by you right there, 92.
This guy has some power out of the Cubs organization. He had some good power years in the minor leagues. And takes the pitch down. It's 1-1. I think he had a total of 28 home runs last year, 17 at AAA Iowa, and 11 in the National League with the Cubs.
Yeah, he's a gamer, too. He went to winter ball, worked hard, loves to play.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Two outs with Kuzmanov at second. He got there on the Rays' error in this inning. Changeup strikes him out. Well, that changeup good for 3 strikeouts in the inning. 1 run scores unearned. Our AT trivia question: which team has the most wins from its starting pitching this year? And the answer: the Rays and the Twins, each with 11. The Rays sporting the best record in baseball with the mark of 15-5 and 11 wins from their starters. Minnesota is 14-6.
And how about the game that Liriano threw last night?
I'll tell you, if that's how good he's going to be.
Wow.
Well, the Twins are in good shape.
Well, he's a guy that pitched in winter ball, did well, had a great spring, didn't walk anybody. We saw him, did a game. The Twins played the Rays in Port Charlotte. He looked great. He's continued.
Yeah, and his last outing is the reason he's not closing.
You're not kidding.
You know, in the absence of their closer, Joe Nathan, there was that question, well, is he going to close? And there was an emphatic no from Ron Gardenhire. He's going to start. With Ibar with a little looper into shallow right base hit. And the Rays have the leadoff man on base. Let's check in here with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, the last question is from Tom on our Ask the Announcer Web Wednesday. He wants to know if the Rays have any left-handers for batting practice when they face a left-hander. And in fact, they do have a couple. Davey Martinez and Scott McNulty, both lefties, got to throw BP today. Davey, of course, the bench coach. And Scott comes over and helps out the Rays during home games for batting practice. Guys, the next question comes to us from Charles, from Mike, and Mike's son. They all want to know what the meaning is of the elephant on the Oakland A's sleeve. Back to you.
All righty. The breaking ball into Gabe Kapler, and that's a strike. That goes all the way back to the early 1900s when Connie Mack had this team. And if you think there are feuds among players and owners in today's game, back in those days, they were just openly derisive of each other at times. And leading that charge was John McGraw, the manager of the New York Giants at the time. In fact, he looked at the American League because the Giants were so dominant in the National League, and he looked at the American League with contempt. He didn't think that they should actually meet in a World Series, and so and along comes Connie Mack, a little pop-up foul that's going to be out of play, and Mack started to spend a little money and put together a pretty good team in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Athletics at the time, and so really out of derision, that term, white elephant, as we all know, a white elephant is something of no value, and so McGraw used that, threw that around freely, and Connie Mack decided, I'm going to take that insult and use it proudly. Double play ball here off the bat of Kapler, and so around the horn. So Connie Mack went to the point where he thought that would be a good idea. A little shaken up in the middle of that double play. Rosales, they're going to come out and take a look at him, but he appears to be fine. He's up and walking away from that play at second base.
Yeah, routine double play ball right here. Let's see. He just doesn't get quite high enough to get over Willie Ibar.
Yeah, we maybe should check Willie to see if he's okay with the way that right foot came down. But he's upended, but he's apparently going to be okay. And that's good news. So the double play erases the leadoff base hit. So before you knew it, the A's were wearing those elephant patches on their uniform, and not only on their sleeves, but for a time they wore them on the front of their uniforms, and then after a number of years they disappeared and they went back to just the regular A's. And that's where all that came from, and they've been a part of the A's history more or less off and on since that time. Charlie Finley, of course, bought the A's, moved them to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And they had the elephant there for a time, but he also introduced a donkey. Remember, he had at the old ballpark out there,
sure.
The Kansas City A's.
Yep.
When he bought them, he introduced that donkey, and they had one at the ballpark. He had a pasture for him out in the old ballpark there beyond the fence. 2-1 now, the count to John.
Well, that's great history. That well done, Dwayne. I did not know that.
And then Charlie took him to Oakland, and the rest is history. It's hard for me to believe, but I think this is the 43rd year the A's have been at Oakland. They're Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Charlie Finley bought them and moved them to Oakland from Kansas City.
And he also brought in the white shoes.
Yep.
And remember, he tried to get the orange baseball as part of the game. Orange.
That's right. Hardball. In fact, somewhere in my garage, I have one of those orange baseballs. There's a walk to John Jason, and he signed all of that great talent out there, and bestowed nicknames on them, and Catfish Hunter. In fact, I think yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of the late Catfish Hunter's
what a good man.
Major League debut. But Finley gave him that, he signed him, he said, son, anybody call you anything but Jim? And he said, no, I don't have a nickname. He says, from now on you do, and it's, you like to fish? I think he said he liked to fish. It's from now on, your nickname's going to be Catfish. You're going to be Catfish Hunter, and that was a little more colorful than Jim.
I heard that story, and Catfish told me that story one time. a chance to meet him and work with him one spring.
Jason Bartlett takes the pitch high. 1 ball, no strike. And one other aside I found, speaking of John McGraw, the guy who hired John McGraw was the owner of the New York Giants, and then he sold the team shortly after he hired him. But the guy who hired John McGraw's name was Andrew Friedman. How about that?
There you go.
A long drive, but it's going to be foul off the bat of Bartlett. He had good distance on it, but a little early on the fastball, and so the count is 1-1.
Trying to make up for that error he made. And, James Shields did indeed, by the way, pick up his teammate by striking out the last 2 guys to keep the runner at second base. And now Bartlett got a pitch he could jump on and just did get it foul. Get out in front. Home run distance.
He jammed him that time, and it's a little pop-up. Koosman off at third makes the catch. So the Rays are finished. They leave a man. We go to the 5th through 4, tied 2-2. Keep your edge. The spotlight brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Tonight, James Shields giving the Rays the edge with 7 strikeouts already, and you too can keep your edge with Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Line drive into right, and that's going to sink. Short hopping it is Kapler out there. Gabe keeps it in front of him, and Eric Patterson has a leadoff single.
Take a look at the pitch from Shields right here. Trying to go in. He left it up and away. Patterson got enough of it to drop it in front of Gabe Kapler. And this is one of the guys that will steal a base. As the Oakland A's do have a different look now. They will steal some bases, make some things happen.
Yeah, how about this team? There was a time when they were absolutely opposed to the stolen base, but not now. That's a fair ball just on the line. Crawford with a pickup, and the runner's going to try to score. Throw to the plate. He is out. Patterson tried to come all the way around from first and score, and the Rays handled the play, got the ball to the plate. Jaso put the tag on him, and he is out, number 1.
Rosales turned on this one, got it down the line. Carl Crawford closed quickly, throws a strike to Bartlett. All in one motion. Take a look right here. I mean, he cut the corner good too, Patterson did, but that's just a strike. And a nice tag on the left knee before Patterson touches home plate with the left hand by John Jaso. Nice play. Quick turn. I believe that was Jason, wasn't it? That was Bartlett.
Yeah, Bartlett in the middle of that and made a great throw. And, you know, the Rays yesterday were out for early work, working on any number of plays. And we sat here and watched them on sure doubles in the alley and so forth. That they handled that one well. Bob Guerin put up an argument, but we could see he was out of the play.
You know what? That's exactly right. And we wanted to mention that yesterday, that everybody came out early yesterday and worked on sure double down the line, runner at first base, and that's exactly what that was.
Pitch down and in, and Pennington held up 1-0. And so that extra work. And Madden said coming out of spring training that he would pick days and have early work, and they were out and working on just that type of situation.
That play, absolutely. Double down the line, runner at first, double down the line, nobody on. Ones that they're called sure double down the line, and how you line up with a runner at first for cutoffs and relays versus nobody on. And the alignment was perfect, and they just worked on that 24 hours ago. That's good stuff right there by Joe Madden and his staff, and great execution by the guys, the players. Crawford, Bartlett, and Jaso making a tag.
2 balls and a strike. So it goes as a double for Rosales. He winds up at third as the play came to the plate where Patterson was thrown out.
Well, you know, Shields picked up Bartlett, and now Bartlett picked up Shields, saving a run right there with that throw.
And there's ball 3. It's 3-1. Well, the Rays had that early work yesterday on that play, and they had some early work today with their catchers, among other things, working on blocking pitches and some throwing. Full count.
Pretty good 3-1 fastball, 92 miles an hour, and almost looked like Pennington was thinking maybe I'm getting a changeup here. That ball got by him. And now Chase is going to make sure with James Shields and ask him what I think. What do you think? Fastball, 92, and great tailing action.
Yeah, that was good right there with that little finish fading away. 3-2, and it's down. First walk issued by Shields. Sets up a first and third 1-out situation. 7 strikeouts, high this year. Shields had 6 strikeouts in his first outing this year against Baltimore. That came in 6+ innings.
Now, Pennington can run too. He can steal some bases.
Martin homered in the first. Into the dirt, and it's blocked. So the runners remain at first and third, and Jason's been doing a great job of that. And again, that's because of all the work in the spring and the work they did yesterday.
That's a curveball, and as a right-hander throwing a curveball, it'll bounce and hit back to your left. And Jason was ready for that. It'll carry him off the spin and come back a little bit to your left. And he was all over.
Now, Madden said at the end of the spring, Jason's is a different guy. It's a different catcher. He's a catcher now than what he had been before. And they were pretty straight up with Jason. Told him that's what he needed to get better at, and he has improved tremendously.
And the other thing that does, that'll give Shields confidence that he can throw that curveball down there. Maybe get a swing and a miss out of it, and he'll block it.
So it is down 2-0. It's amazing, and I know it's frustrating for you because you caught and you managed. I watching a game the other night, an all-star catcher had one that went right by him because he didn't get down like that.
Yeah, the key is getting your feet out from underneath you. It's not just going forward with your knees, because if you're moving forward, that ball's going to carry them off. You're not getting your upper half over the ball.
It's long but foul up the right side. The count is 2-1.
You got to be on the balls of your feet and get your feet out from underneath you quickly, and your knees go straight down. That's the shortest distance down, and that way your upper body will follow automatically, and the ball will, you almost cup the ball, it will come right out in front. But if you go forward on your knees, and meet the ball part way, you're going to be stiff with your upper body. It's going to carry him off too far.
Get the strike on the inside corner. The count is 2-2.
That little sink to it right there, too. Nice pitch.
Swing and a miss. He gets a big strikeout there. That's number 8 on the night. So Barton down on strikes.
Boy, it's some kind of changeup right there. This is a great pitch. Look at this pitch. Bottom falling out. So tracks it right into the glove.
And look, Barton's frustrated, but that's a great pitch because he thought it was one place and it was another.
It's all about the arm speed, making it look the same as your fastball. Jaso went out in front of the plate with first and third and 2 out, so my guess is that they're not going to throw through on a stolen base attempt. By doing that, you're letting the infield know, hey, I'm going to fake and go to third if Pennington tries to steal.
Sweeney, the hitter, Ryan Sweeney, takes one outside.
And with first base being held on over there by Pena, I wouldn't think Oakland would run early. They'll wait till it's 2 strikes. They'll give Sweeney a shot to hit one through the hole. Being a left-handed hitter, if there's a changeup, of course, it's an easier pitch to pull if he makes contact.
That's ball for a strike. It's 1-1.
Bob Guerin flashing out the signs there to his third base coach, Mike Gallego, who in turn flashes to the infield, the base runners and his hitter.
Pennington back in.
Situation 1-2. They might expect a change up or something off speed. They might try to steal a run. And if they're not throwing through, my guess is they're not. Then the infield has to just stay there because you don't want to open up a hole by having somebody cover the bat.
A ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Sweeney went up and chased that one. It started wide, had a little cut to it. That's 9 strikeouts for Shields. We're tied. Here, the Rays came back with 2 runs in the second inning. Upton scored on the bad throw. Bartlett doubled home Kapler. And then this play tied the game. Sweeney scoring on the error on the bad throw. And here, the first pitch, Crawford was going to bunt it. That pitch up and in as Crawford had to get out of there in a hurry and the pitch all the way to the backstop.
Yeah, right at his head right here as Carl squares to bunt, maybe push one toward third. Just does get out of the way.
One ball, one strike. Crawford reached on that little infield hit between the pitcher and third base in the first inning. Struck out in the second. Takes a look at this one down.
He really slowed his arm action on that pitch. You could tell that was going to be. Slowed his arm down.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Inside. We'll take it full. Rays won last night 8-6, tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning tonight. Forces another pitch with that little foul ball.
Yeah, that might have been a ball, but too close to take, so Carl stays alive. Had to swing at that. Changeup.
And is low. So Crawford draws the second walk issued by Dallas Braden. Braden with 2 walks in 4+ innings now, and that's big news. He had walked only 4 men in 26 innings coming into this game.
Yeah, only 1.38 walks per 9. Mentioned earlier in the game, and 3rd lowest in the American League coming into this game. 77 pitches now. As the Rays are in their 3rd time around the lineup here in the 5th inning.
And Zobrist takes one down, block. Crawford's on the move, and he's in there safely. The ball by second base, but it was backed up. Crawford on the move on that pitch down.
Good secondary lead. That's why Carl was safe. He was anticipating something in the dirt. That's the only way you can get into second safely. As soon as he hit the dirt, he took off. And Fox blocked it pretty well, but because Carl's so fast, he rushed his throw. There's a secondary lead. Sees it in the dirt. He's gone.
Rosales took a swipe at it. Pennington backed it up. A turn, but nothing doing. Back at second.
Infield really shortens up with Carl at second base. And what I mean is Pennington's right behind Carl. Even the corners are up. The infield right there.
It's inside to Zobrist. 2-0. Nothing.
Now here's where Ben has been getting caught at times in between. What's he going to get? Is he going to get a fastball? Is he going to get a changeup? I don't believe Braden's going to throw him a cookie down the middle.
3-1. And that's a strike, and he did not.
Yep, you got a
speed right there, and that takes the count to 3-2.
And then that's how Ben's being pitched differently, what we were talking about a couple of innings ago. 3-1 counts. They're respecting his ability to hit a fastball out of the ballpark. He may just double up on it to get a changeup again here.
3-2 pitch is foul back. So he came in with a fastball there.
And Ben was ready for it. You got him thinking, hey, maybe I'll double up, and that's what's been happening. And Ben stayed with looking for a fastball. So he May not get it here, though. They go right back to the off-speed pitch.
Crawford takes his lead, 3-2, and it's down and away. He did. He changed up on him. And so back-to-back walks to Crawford and Zobrist with a wild pitch in between. Don't forget the Corona Beach Bar. You can host your group. It's an exclusive, up-close and personal environment during the game. Enjoy great seats exclusively for your group and enjoy Rays baseball by reserving the Corona Beach Bar. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or email group sales at raysbaseball.com.
That was a good at-bat by Ben because he didn't chase the off-speed pitch. He kept looking for the fastball, and he fouled one back, and then he didn't chase the off-speed and go, I'm going to start thinking with him. Because once you start thinking back and forward, you get caught in between. With 2 strikes, you can't really guess like that. And he did a good job there.
Bullpen starts to get busy. Tyson Ross has just started to warm up with that conference on the mound. Evan Longoria will be the hitter. 2-2 ball game, and the Rays threatened in the bottom of the 5th. Throw to second, Crawford back in.
It's just the threat of Carl out there, the possibility he might run. It takes a little bit away from Dallas Braden, and I think it took his concentration away, and he walks Ben Zobrist.
Longoria takes the first pitch high, a fastball with Braden being quick to the plate.
Yeah, and what you don't want to do is run yourself out of an inning here because he's really focused on Crawford a little bit, and he's making some mistakes here at home plate. I'd give Evan a chance to get one out of the ballpark.
He bounced it back. He got a fastball right there. That might have moved in on him a little bit, but I'll tell you, he'd love to see that again.
Oh, yeah, he knows it, too. He got his pitch. That was the idea. I mean, that is right there in his wheelhouse, and he knows it. Good swing at it. We get a change up here now. I don't see him getting a fastball again.
And time that Rosales breaking to the bag and then releasing.
Now Fox sat up inside, which you don't sit up inside for a changeup. So let's see if he goes back in there. Yeah, he's going back inside.
And a shot headed for the corner. That's going to be a 2-base hit. It short hopped the low wall. Crawford will score. Zobrist goes to third on the double by Longoria, and the Rays take a 3-2 lead.
You go in there once. I wouldn't go back in there again. I was surprised they went inside, but they did. I think there's a little cutter to it right here. Let's see. Yeah, little cutter. He's all over it. That's not a good sequence right there to challenge Evan inside. One of the quickest bats in baseball. One hops over the 315 sign. That's good job by the Rays and Carl Crawford to stay at second base and let Braden make a mistake, and that's exactly what he did.
So the Rays taking advantage of a couple of walks. Now the double by Evan. Longoria's 7th double. Here's Carlos Pena. Draw the infield up here. And a base hit drilled through the right side of that infield. Zobrist scores. Longoria stops at third. Now the ball loose on the infield. Here comes Longoria to score. That ball coming back in got loose, and the Rays get 2 runs out of that. Now 5-2.
Well, the speed game of the Rays is really forcing these mistakes and errors. Evan rounds third base hard. Carlos Pena hustles to first base and rounds hard. Sweeney comes up firing, thinking Evan's trying to score. And Barton thinking, well, maybe I can get Pena. The ball goes off his glove. It should be an error by Barton. That's just a good read by Evan Longoria. Great job of base running.
So the Rays have a 3-run inning and a 5-2 lead. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. Barton charged with the error allowing the other run. Replay fueled by Gatorade returns with an all-new season. High school teammates reunite 11 years later in Hockeytown. Follow the journey of Catholic Central versus Trenton. Replay at theseries.com. Dallas Braden out, pitching 4+ 4 hitters in the 5th. The Rays have 5 runs and 8 hits. Tyson Ross, the new pitcher, makes his 7th appearance.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job. Overall walks are a little high, but he has struck out 11.
That pitch close. Hit around Upton's feet. A ball, no strikes.
Two-seam fastball just got away completely. Not much of a finish there by Ross in his delivery.
And that fastball a little close. 2-0.
First 2 pitches, he's kind of standing straight up. He's not really getting over that front leg and finishing off his pitches.
Two balls and a strike.
Sink right there, though.
Doing 2, and a slider after all of that in.
86 with the slider.
Pretty close for ball 3. Full count.
Yeah, that might have been his best pitch. Like a regular 4-seam 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
There's a base hit. Fastball sent right back through the middle. And Upton has his 2nd hit of the night. Pena stops at 2nd. The Rays keep it going here in the 5th inning.
He is really swinging the bat well. That was a good pitch down. He got through that ball. Stayed inside it. Centered it nicely. Hit a rocket. Good bat speed. Used his legs. Went down and got it. Look at that. Down and got it. Ran through it. Then hits the lip. Skips into center field. Got the front foot down. There's the load. Good finish.
Now Willie Ibar. Fouls it. That's a strike. Well, the Rays have 5 runs tonight, and they threaten to get more. They came in leading the league in runs scored with 121. That's a strike. 0-2. If you're gonna go to the postseason out of the American League East, you're gonna have to score at least 5 runs.
That's right.
5 to 5.5 runs a game. The Rays have been holding up that end of the bargain so far. Ibar keeps the at-bat alive.
Well, the other thing you're going to have to do is play defense. And even though Jason Bartlett made the 1 error, boy, they made up for it and thwarted a potential huge inning in the top of the 5th on the relay play.
Two. Ibar fouls another one. The Rays tonight have 5 runs, 9 hits. Oakland committing a couple of errors. And that's just foul. You know, the 2 errors tonight. Derek Barton opened the scoring with a home run, but he's been charged with 2 errors tonight. He's made 6 on the year. So he's been charged with 6 of the 16 errors committed as a team by Oakland. Yeah, he's been playing every game and playing now despite that fractured finger.
Well, both times those errors was because of speed.
Line drive, and that's a base hit into left. Just over Pennington's glove as he tried to time his leap. Pena stops at third, Upton at second, and Ibar is aboard for the second time tonight.
Line drive right at Pennington. Had to freeze on that one. Carlos did a nice job because Pennington had a chance maybe to catch that. At least Carlos thought so for a second.
Now Reed Breniak will pinch hit for Gabe Kapler with the right-hander Ross in the game. Reed hits a little foul ball up the first base side. So Breniak, who last night connected his second time up. That was in the fourth inning when he went head-to-head with Ben Sheets.
Yeah, he got a high changeup right there. And he got through it. Got on top of it. Didn't uppercut that. Got on top of it. Hit it out.
One strike to count to Breniak now. Down and in, and that's going to skip toward the backstop. Pena will score, and the Rays have another run. The wild pitch, and another run scores.
Well, Ross has a lot of movement, but he's all over the place with his stuff. This is a slider. And Fox tries to backhand it. Should have shifted over, got the right knee down, and tried to block it. Had so much movement. He's sitting up down the middle, but he doesn't shift in time, so he has to backhand it. But that's a blockable pitch right there.
The inning started with the 2 walks. The Rays have 4 runs in this inning.
This is where the depth of the Rays bench too really helps, because Breniak comes in, he can pinch hit for your right fielder, and then Breniak can go to second, Ben Zobrist can go to right field.
And a high chopper to second. The throws to first. The run scores. Upton across the plate. Breniak made contact to get the run home. Ibar is now at third with 1 out.
Well, that's pretty much Derek Shelton's theme, isn't it? Get him over, get him in.
And that's what the Rays have been doing with regularity.
That's what Breniak just did. He got him over and got him in at the same time. So the runner at third with 1 out.
Infield stays close, and John Jaso is the hitter, and he sends a fly ball back into left. Patterson will go back to make the catch. Tag at third, and Ibar will score, and the Rays make it an 8-2 ball game. So 2 more runs batted in for Jaso in this game. He now has 9 runs batted in his short stay.
That's a good at bat. I mean, he just went with it, got it in the air, did his job. Breniak does his to set up the RBI for Jaso. And you thank Breniak too, because you get credit for no at bat, sac fly, but you take the RBI.
There's Bartlett. The pitch is down. So 6 runs charged to Braden and 2 to Ross. Two and 0. No strikes.
just fearing that somebody's going to get hit. They're not getting anybody out. I think that was intentional. I think he tried to go right at him. It's a four-seam fastball. I think he tried to hit him. Frustration.
Kilby, Brad Kilby, the lefty, in the bullpen. Six-run fifth, 8-2 ball game. Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club. The extraordinary seating, luxurious lounge and dining areas. It's the Whitney Bank Club, featuring upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com to purchase or for more information. Carl Crawford started the inning with a walk. That's a strike. Crawford started this inning by dodging a pitch when he was going to bunt, and Bartlett had to dodge ball 4 up and in to keep it going. 1-1.
We talked a lot about lineup turnover today in the pregame. Boy, it's turned over for the 4th time already.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Oakland led 1-0. The Rays 2-1. Oakland tied it with a run in the 4th, 2-2. The Rays have 6 here in the 5th. The count is 2-2 to Crawford. Oakland started the day a game and a half up on the Angels. The Rays 2.5 up on New York. Crawford fouls it. Still a 2-2 count. And now 3-2. Yankees have a big lead in Baltimore in the bottom of the 6th. New York leading the Orioles 8-1. 2 and a ground ball headed through the middle and a base hit into center. Bartlett will go to third. Crawford's on for the 3rd time, the 2nd time in this inning. The Rays have 11 hits. That's Bob Guerin coming out, which means Tyson Ross will come out. Pitching change coming, and we'll be back in a moment. fuel-efficient Hondas. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Third pitcher of the inning, Brad Kilby, on the hill now for the Oakland A's. This is his fourth appearance, 27-year-old lefty. And Zobrist. And with a single and a walk. 1 for 2 on the evening. Fastball in the upper 80s, and it's high. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's a little unique the way he comes out of the glove, isn't it?
It sure is.
Looks it behind his back, almost hiding the ball.
And a pop-up. Foul ball going to be out of play.
Out of the glove right here. A little hesitation. Hides the ball pretty well. Hooks it. Tough to pick up.
A ball, 2 strikes. It kind of shows it to you, and there it is, and now it disappears.
Yeah, just a little hesitation that would try to mess your timing up a little bit.
Uh-oh, look out. Wow, that ball in foul territory, and it almost... Boy, Bartlett is fortunate that there's nothing more than what it was. Boy, that was a shot. He was trying to get out of the way and trying to do the limbo to get out of the way. He's all right.
He gives a little nod to Zobrist, like keep it in between the lines. With his head there.
And a fly ball lifted into center. That's Gabe Gross out there. He's got it to retire the side, but the Rays have a 6-run inning, and they have an 8-2 lead.
Turning out real well. Threw about 135 feet and 30 pitches and all fastballs. So I can't wait to spin a curveball, but it went well for today.
Here you see JP has been on the 15-day DL with that left shoulder strain. He hopes May 20th, guys, to start his rehab in the minor leagues. He will next throw on Friday. At that point, he'll go 35 to 40 pitches and mix in some changeups as well. Back to you, Dwayne.
All right. Thank you, Todd. It was really great to see him out there. And the other development in regard to J.P. Howe, he said when he got back, he said the beard was staying, the hair was going. This one bounced toward the middle. Brignac will get the ball back to first, and the stretch by Pena, keeping his foot on the bag to retire Eric Chavez. Brignac just in the game at second base with Zobrist going to right field here in the 6th inning.
Nice play by both guys. Brignac getting to the ball and then having to get it out of his glove. It'll double clutch right there. Still throwing a strike. Close enough for Pena to make the nice stretch, keeping the left foot on the bag. It's a nice play on both ends. Perfect timing on the stretch by Carlos.
Brignac continues. He does such a good job making that transition. It's not easy. There's a base hit on the right. And he's been a shortstop and now playing second base. And all things considered, got to give him some credit.
Yeah, he's a valuable guy. Left-handed hitting, middle infield. He can play an excellent short or second. And right out of the chute, the ball finds you right away, doesn't it? First pitch.
Absolutely.
First hitter, I mean.
Almost guaranteed. Kuzmanov has a base hit. He's at first. The 5 hits allowed by Shields. Shields has 9 strikeouts tonight. Gross takes one low. Boy, Shields in the 5th inning did a really good job. And he was picked up by that defensive play for the first out after Rosales doubled. But a couple of strikeouts of Barton and Sweeney there with men at first and third in what was at the time a 2-2 ball game.
Well, that was the major turning point of the game right there to keep it even right there after the nice relay from Crawford to Bartlett to Jaso. Saved a run. That would have been a runner at third and nobody out and a run in had they not executed that relay.
2-0. Bartlett, he's okay at shortstop after trying to bend backwards and stay out of that line drive in foul territory hit by Zobrist in the bottom of the 5th. Now it's 3-0. 50 pitches made by Oakland pitchers in that long bottom of the 5th inning, and Shields had to sit in the dugout for a long time.
Awful long time. That's right. 81 pitches, 54 for strikes right now for the game. Yeah, that is a long time to sit because he was in a good flow. Of course, he had to battle pretty hard, as you said, to get through the 5th. Couple of strikeouts. Same thing in the 4th. He struck out Gross and Fox with Kuzmanov on base as well. On second base.
Ground ball right side. Brignac will take it to first. Runner Kuzmanov moves into second, but Gross is out number 2. So Jake Fox strolls to the plate. If you're traveling this year, you can take the Rays right with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Rays game live or on demand right on your computer. Visit RaysBaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Here's Jake Fox. Strike one.
Great changeup. First pitch changeup right there.
And another one. Strike 2.
That's what he struck Fox out in the 4th inning with changeups. And he's just staying with it. Again, great arm speed, but look at that location. Down.
Low, blocked by Jaso. strikeouts tonight for Shields. He gets Fox on the changeup. Oakland leaves a man.
Your questions. A lot of questions tonight, fans. Keep them coming. Guys, the latest question involves Carlos Pena. One fan wants to know about what Pena has on his batting glove. It looks a little different. That's from Chris. Guys, back to you.
All righty. Evan Longoria leads off and takes the pitch inside. Pena will hit second in this inning, and then Upton. And what Carlos has is more than just the regular batting glove. He has is some protection because of the pitch that CC Sabathia hit him with last year that cut short his season in early September. There's a shot. No doubt about that one. 2-0 pitch, and Longoria makes it a 9-2 ball game. Evans' fourth home run of the year. Boy, there was no doubt when contact was made where that ball was headed.
That ball was launched. Fastball right down the middle and up in the zone, and he didn't miss it.
Second run batted in tonight for Evan. 16 on the year. 9-2 game. His first home run off left-handed pitching this year. And now Carlos Pena takes it high, 1-0. And so Carlos does have added protection because of the broken fingers he sustained last year.
You know, there's always new designs on equipment when somebody seems to get hurt. Because it's flexible enough. I saw that with Carlos in spring training. It's flexible enough where he can, it doesn't affect him gripping or obviously swinging a bat. But that outer plastic really protects his the back of his hand there.
Yeah, that's the batting glove plus.
Yeah, that really, that's the super.
Yeah.
Well, I go all the way back to when Steve Yeager in San Diego got a broken bat lodged in his throat, and Bill Buehler was the trainer for the Dodgers, and he designed the old throat guard that the guys used to wear, the catchers used to wear back in the day, back in the 70s. And now, of course, when you look at the catcher's mask, they have an extended piece of metal down there. They don't have the throat guards anymore that used to flap. But Bill Buehler designed that, trainer. Now you see that extra piece of metal down there where Fox has to protect his throat.
Carlos under it, pops it up. Away with a mask. Fox after it, and it's going to fall. Kuzmanov coming down from third, and Fox, I think, thought he might take it, and he had a little trouble. He actually overran it and could not get back, and it falls in between the two of them.
Well, if the third baseman can get there, he's got to call you off. It's obviously an easier play for the third baseman, but I don't believe there was any communication. I think he just assumed Kuzmanov that Fox had it, and obviously he did not. He's looking for help right there.
So Pena gets another shot.
That's the second ball we've seen up high that Oakland has misjudged.
Yeah, Martin had trouble with one in the direction of the bullpen. And now ball 3. Leadoff home run in the bottom of the 6th inning for Longoria. From Longoria and Pena. I thought it might hit the Rays tank there for a moment, and it fell just short. It's a 10-2 ball game.
I mean, I thought it was way out. Gabe Gross gave it a little chase, but he's seen that before playing with Carlos. That's off the outside corner and not even on the sweet spot of the bat. A little bit off the end. That's how strong Carlos is. Great extension. Way out of here. Didn't miss it by much.
That's right. He needed to pull it just about another foot and a half. It would have gone into the Rays tank out there. Strike 1 to Upton. That's all it needed. Go 2 to BJ. So 2 more runs home for the Rays in the 6th inning on back-to-back home runs by Longoria and Pena. BJ is out on strikes. So that's the first out here in the 6th. Todd, what else is up?
I'm going to take a preemptive answer to people's questions because I can already predict they're going to ask who hit one in the Rays tank before. Tampa's own Luis Gonzalez has that distinction. Guys, here's one from Chip. Kind of an interesting observation. The Rays played the A's 9 times this year, 2 at Tropicana Field, 7 in Oakland. He said, this doesn't seem fair. Your thoughts?
It's a great observation, and he's absolutely right. Ibar fouls us one back. And, you get to the point where there's just no figuring these schedules. And part of that is because of interleague play. There's a pop foul back this way and into the upper deck above us. And the count is 0-2. But there is no rhyme or reason to that.
The simple answer is poor design of the schedule. That's what it is. I mean, even for the A's to come in here for 2 days.
And there's a base hit. So Ibar has his 3rd hit of the night.
To fly 3,000 miles from Oakland cross country to play a 2-game series on the East Coast, that's it is ridiculous. But there's 81 home games, 81 road, and that's the only way. With interleague play is the key. That's what's messing the schedule up with the unbalance.
Now it's Reed Brignac. He takes a strike from Kilby.
Of course, last year the ball club went to the West Coast only once. This year they go to the West Coast twice.
Brignac fouls 1, 0-2. It's difficult to, for the longest, baseball had great integrity in the schedule. The purists, you go back pre-expansion days, and even after expansion, when you had the American League and National League all playing together. And Martin takes care of this pop-up for the 2nd out. everybody played the same number of games against everybody else, and then that changed with divisional play. But there was some fairness and symmetry to it, and enough so that instead of like Oakland, for an example, coming in here one trip, even if they play 3 games, you know, in the old system, inside your division, you played 3-3 in terms of series, and 2-2 out of your division, which was still enough so that I think fans were familiar with other teams that they might not see inside the division. Just not the case now. 1-0 to Jaso. And I'd really love to see that addressed some way.
And before interleague play, I managed before interleague play, and we would go to the West Coast twice, especially when I was managing the Red Sox, and we'd see the Angels, for example, and Oakland, and Seattle. You cover that West Coast swing one time in May, usually, and then later in August. And
yeah, you'd make 2 trips out. They'd make 2 trips in.
3 and 3
outside your division.
So you'd play 12 games in all. They'd come to your place twice, and you'd see them early, and you'd see them late at different strengths too. You know, different players, guys would be called up, sent down, injuries. So you know, it's more balanced as far as 162 games. You know, I know now there's times where you don't see a team until August for the first time, or July.
Jaso pops it up. Right side foul. Martin is after it. Backs up, falls down, and hangs on. So they're having a difficult time with the poppers. Meanwhile, the Rays got back-to-back home runs from Longoria and Pena to start. Does the bench coach do? Well, on the next edition of Inside the Rays, we'll highlight the Rays bench coach and former Rays outfielder Dave Martinez. Learn about his role on the team and his journey from a player to a coach inside the Rays. Dave Martinez. That'll be Sunday, 4:30 on Sun Sports. For a preview of the show, log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com. Eric Patterson, the leadoff man. A ball, no strikes to count. A liner into center. That will fall for a base hit. Patterson has his second hit of this game.
Number 7.
6 hits for Oakland. Adam Rosales will be the hitter. You see the pitch count right there for James Shields. 10 strikeouts tonight. He's walked a man, allowed 2 runs and 6 hits.
This guy's been a tough guy to get out in this series. 5 hits in 6 appearances.
There's a strike.
I'd like to see James get through 7. Bullpen is up. A couple of long innings, though.
And he has Rosales out in front. Well, Shields with 10 strikeouts, not a career high. That came in April of 07 when he struck out 12 against the Cleveland Indians. And he picks up another one. That's number 11, one step closer to a career high.
Another changeup. Stay with it. If it works, don't fix it. Great changeup again. Down. Bottom falls out. Beauty.
I have 9 of his 11 strikeouts on changeups.
I believe that's right. Yep.
Here's Pittington.
Yeah, Patterson got struck out on a cutter. That's the only one that I have that's other than a changeup.
There's a strike. And let's see. I thought
Sweeney too.
Patterson
maybe.
and I thought Sweeney. I thought that pitch was a cutter up.
That was a cutter.
So those two. Otherwise,
right.
That changeup has been the strikeout pitch. 1-1. At one point, this was a 2-2 ball game. It's now 10-2. Fly ball, right field. Zobrist out there waiting for it to come down. 2 outs. Eric Barton is due up. Seminole Club of Greater Orlando, along with the Seminole Boosters, welcome FSU head coach Jimbo Fisher to Orlando. That'll be coming up Saturday, the 1st of May. The day begins with a golf tournament at Shingle Creek Golf Club, followed by a banquet at BB King's at Point Orlando. For info and to register, log on to OrlandoSeminoles.com. Swing and a miss by Barton. 10-14-2 for the Rays, 2-6-2 for Oakland. This one popping away from Jaso. A breaking ball. Down to second goes Patterson. So that'll be a pass ball and a curveball.
Yep, just popped out of the glove.
Barton opened the scoring back in the first when he hit a home run. Turns away from ball 2. 2-1 now. Cleveland hitting in the top of the 9th. They're tied with the Angels 3-3. That game of some interest to open. The A's had a 1.5 game lead on the Angels starting play. And now ball 3. And they're in the top of the 8th at Baltimore. The Yankees lead the Orioles 8-3. That will take the count 4.
And you can bet Mike Socha and the Angels see the scoreboard in Anaheim and are thanking the Rays right now for what the score is as we speak, 10-2.
It's only the second full count Shields has had tonight. And he strikes him out. He threw him a cutter. That's number 12 for Shields, and it equals his single game career high. No
got deeper and progressed. Jason kept calling it. Shields kept nailing it. Look at those pitches down. Tremendous movement. And a couple of cutters. Good measure.
Sean Rodriguez will hit to open the bottom of the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. Shields 101 pitches, 12 strikeouts. That equals a career high. 1-1.
I hope Jason's okay because he wrenched his back a little bit there in that line drive foul a couple of innings ago. It's good to get him out of there.
2-1, so there's an opportunity right here with Sean Rodriguez to hit for him.
Good move. Just get him in there, check it out, get a little treatment. Never know.
Fastball is high. Ray scored 6 off Dallas Braden, 2 off Ross, and 2 off Kilby. Back-to-back home runs from Longoria and Pena in the 6th inning. A good cut and a foul ball back. A 3-1 fastball, and Rodriguez let it out. Fouled it, though. Three-2. And he's out on strikes. Fastball up, got him. Crawford fouling that one, or missing it, just a little piece of it. Upstairs, 1-1. Well, the A's have made some defensive changes. Crawford chases one high. The new center fielder, Rajah Davis, takes over in center. Gabe Gross moves from center field to right field. There's Davis in center field now in the 7th. 2-2. Gabe Gross now out of center and in right. So Sweeney out of the game. Changes on the right side of the infield as well. It's a little 2-2. Well, Steve Tollison, he's at second base. He's the son of the former infielder Wayne Tollison. So he's in there at second, and Rosales moves from second to first. Martin out of the game.
I'll tell you one thing, it's 10-2, but Carl's not giving up this at bat, is he?
No.
Love that.
You know, it's really just not in him to give away any at bats now. He lifts the fly ball to center. Davis going back and makes the catch. So Crawford extended the at bat.
Sure did. Fouled off some good pitches too. Tough pitches.
Two away. And Zobrist will bat. And it's a single and a walk and a run scored tonight. Takes one high. Brad Kilby. He was up briefly for Oakland last year. He made one start to 10 relief appearances. 2-0.
I feel that Ben's walk in the 5th really was the key to the inning, because if he had made out, you could pitch around or even walk Longoria. Dallas Braden at the time being the lefty and faced Pena, but he read the ball well, I should say, as he got ahead of the count and didn't chase anything out of the zone and drew the walk, and that set it up for Evan to hit the RBI double.
3-1. count now. Zobrist pops it up. Pennington, the shortstop, waiting for this one. He makes the catch, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. 10-2 Tampa Bay.
His third consecutive win. And speaking of James Shields, part of our Friday Fest T-shirt giveaway, courtesy of the St. Petersburg Times. This will be the T-shirt given away to the fans, 10,000 fans on Friday. Big game on the front. The cool thing about this shirt, guys, as it says big game on the back with the TV, is James Shields actually had a say in the design on this shirt. So it wasn't just, we're going to make a T-shirt for Big Game James. He had a say in this, so it's a pretty cool design there. And we do have another question. Tyler wants to know on our Ask the Announcer website Wednesday, do you guys think Hank Blaylock will play for the Rays at some point this season? Back to you.
Well, I tell you, that's a great question because I think the Rays have seen enough in him to think that he could have an impact on this club. Right now, the problem's going to be finding room for him because this offense is just clicking on all cylinders right now. Collison leading off here with Andy Sonnenstein, the new pitcher. Andy taking over for Shields. Ground ball to third and right under Longoria's glove. And Tollison is aboard. So Steve Tollison is aboard on an error charged to Longoria.
Don't see that happen very often. Evan biting his glove, he knows it. Just rolled right underneath it. And he's done a nice job. 7 games he's been in, 2.61 earned run average. In 10 and a third innings. How about the opponent's batting average against 162? Outstanding.
Eric Chavez and a base hit into center. So an error and a single, and 2 men are on.
Yeah, with the offense, the way it's swinging at bats right now, it's tough to say what's going to happen down there. Hank is still a young guy. He had 25 home runs last year in Texas. And
he's only 29. You're right about
29 years old. Right, yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of value.
3 more RBIs tonight. He's hitting over 400.
I think it was a great sign by Andrew Friedman. I mean, that's a great pickup. I was surprised he was still out there when the Rays got him.
Kevin Kuzminoff now. He's down, a ball to no strikes.
What that does too, knowing Hank Blaylock's down there, it pushes you when you're in the big leagues too, knowing there's somebody in the wings. Not that you wouldn't work hard anyway to stay here, but it doesn't hurt. Competition always brings out the best in guys.
Well, and that's one of the first things that the Rays, in trying to turn this around, wanted to do in a situation where there would be competition, where you're not just trying to fill out positions, but you have people competing for those positions.
Right.
2-1.
Well, this man right here, Andy Sonnenstein, had to compete, and he made the club, and he had to make a complete turnaround after a tough year last year.
We're in the 8th. And Kuzminoff lifts the breaking ball into right. It's caught by Zobrist. The runners hold at first and second. Once again, here's tonight's poll question, brought to you by Autoway. Autoway, if you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Autoway. Call 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. Text 789-789 and make your choice. What has been the most impressive aspect of the Rays' 15-5 start? TB1 starting pitching, TB2 offense, TB3 the bullpen, or TB4 overall team depth? Standard message and data rate apply. What do you think, Kevin?
You know what? I like the number 4, TB4. I think the depth.
Well, managers love depth and versatility.
I wanted to lean towards starting pitching because the pitchers set the tone. They really do, and I think they've been incredible. But overall depth, you can't leave the offense out. You can't leave the defense. The base running, the threat of the base running, what it creates, the guys off the bench.
Yeah, the real answer to that is that it takes all of that.
That's right.
And that's what we've seen from the Rays here with this great start.
You know, and having Soriano down there at the end, having a bona fide guy you go to, I mean, that takes a lot of pressure off the bullpen. They know their roles. He's done a good job. AP Howell's coming back. I just think the overall depth, it's a really well-balanced club. Tough. If you had to manage against this club, it'd be tough. Because you got, in your rotation, you've got power guys, you've got change-ups tonight.
Yep.
They could strike you out. David Price and Matt Garza have overpowering stuff, yet they still have good breaking stuff and off speed. Neiman and Davis are two young guys that round out the rotation. Neiman came into his own last year. It's tough.
Gross takes it into left, and Crawford got it. Carl Crawford racing toward the line. Mike Everett hustled up the line to make sure he caught it. So Crawford over there on that liner, slicing away from him. Let's take a look.
Left-handed batter, the ball will tail away from you. Carl to the glove side with a dive makes the play. 10-2 game, and here's Carl Crawford, the best left fielder in the baseball, making a diving catch to save his pitcher right there and keep the game right there. We just talked about his at-bat in the last half of the 7th, and he didn't give that up, and he didn't give the defense up right there. That's the best lefter in baseball right now for me.
Yeah, some quick glove work out there, too. Jake Fox fouls it. Strike one.
Well, and that's why it's hard to pick one area, you know.
Yeah, that's it. You're right about that.
I go back to TB4.
2 outs now. 2 men on. Strike the count to Fox.
It really does take a lot of pressure off when you have a starter every night, you feel like you put zeros up there, you got a chance to win. Because you don't always feel that way breaking camp with your staff.
Yeah, but with this 5-man rotation, you start the year and people say, well, there's not really a bona fide stopper in that rotation. Well, that's I just think that's not relevant, because you've got two guys right there in Garza and Price who appear to be poised to really take the next step.
Hey, we're talking about you.
I mean, either one of those guys could be a closer. High pop-up. Well, they could be a closer, but a stopper, too. And Brignac takes care of this pop-up at shortstop. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Bottom of the 8th coming, 10-2 Rays. Look at tonight's Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. The Rays getting back-to-back home runs tonight for the first time this year. Evan Longoria launched one to left field, and Carlos Pena hit one out to center field. Almost hit it into the Rays tank. Back-to-back home runs for the first time this year. That's the first time since August of last year, and Pena was part of that, along with Ben Zobrist in August of last year against Texas. Longoria, Pena, and Upton due up against Chad Godin here in the bottom of the 8th. There's a strike. Tonight with a double and a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six runs off Braden, 2 off Ross, and 2 off Kilby. Pitch down. 2 balls and a strike. Side, that's going to be foul.
A good month of April for Evan. 329 he's up to right now.
Come in on. They keep trying to come in, but he's got one of the quickest bats in baseball.
Wave and a miss. Out on strikes. Let's check with Todd Callis. Todd?
Dwayne, we've had questions about this topic all season long. Fox tracks, the technical aspect they'll handle. It's good within a third of a baseball on either side of the plate, and up and down it is adjusted for each hitter. Now, guys, a lot of fans want to know what you think about the latest innovation that we've been using this year, the Fox tracks.
Well, that's good. You take the easy part. Well, I think it's an interesting tool if you don't rely on it too often. I think it has a novel value about it, and the thing I think that you have to understand that from wherever we see pitches when we're in the ballpark. Even from our center field shot, it's not straight on. Pena sends it into left center, and that ball is caught by Patterson. Patterson racing to his left. So I think it helps from that point of view. Like we'll see a shot from center field at the plate. Well, that's not a true direct shot from dead center.
Right. I mean, on the Fox tracks, that ball looked middle in. On live from the camera angle, it looked middle away. Carlos hit it away, and Patterson makes a heck of an over-the-shoulder catch. So it's right. In most ballparks, it's tough to get the angle right behind the center field wall. This is where Fox tracks comes in and gives you a better overall read. It's more accurate. But I think what it shows most of the time, the umpires will like this line. I think it shows that they're pretty right on most of the time.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. It's a difficult job at best, and they are, after all, humans, and we do make a mistake from time to time, but they are accurate. I know they'd be a heck of a lot more accurate than any of us trying to do that. 2-1 the count.
My personal feeling, I like it to see sequences. And to see what the general idea, what the catcher's trying to do to the particular hitter, because you'll see 3 or 4 pitches in a row in, and you'll see one down and away.
BJ is out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays, and we head into the 9th in this 10-2 ball game. Anderson in the batter's box. Andy Sonnenstein throws him a strike. Andy pitched around an error and a base hit in the 8th inning. A scoreless 8th. And that one is by Patterson. Patterson is 2 for 3 tonight. Out in the ninth. Let's get a final report in game from Todd Callis. Of course, he'll be coming up in the post game, and hope you'll stay for that. Todd?
Busy night, Dwayne, on the computer today. Over 300 questions asked on the Web Wednesday Ask the Announcer segment. So congratulations to all those fans. Sorry we couldn't get to all of them, but we got to a lot of them tonight. Hey, don't forget tomorrow, Rays Live, the pregame show. We'll hear from Derek Shelton, Rays hitting coach, as this team continues to roll along offensively. We'll have Reed Brignac mic'd up, and as always, Brian Anderson will join me for the first of 4 against Kansas City, and he'll have insight that only an ex-Royal can give us. Back to you, Dwayne.
And we'll look forward to that. 1-0 the count. Gonzalez is now playing first base. There's a strike. Matt Garza is going to pitch tomorrow for the Rays. You know, that's the other thing about this rotation, talking about maybe not one guy who people would necessarily consider a stopper. It's almost an irrelevant conversation to talk about that, because every night when the Rays go out, whether it's Shields tonight or Garza, Neiman, Price, and Davis, all through the rotation, they fully have the expectation of winning with that guy on the mound. Shot back to left, and that ball is going to get out of here. Boy, what a series Rosales has had. He had 4 hits last night, and he has a double and a home run tonight. And he is sprinting around the bases. He's not wasting any time. It's now 10-3.
You got to lock that in, because the Rays in the next road trip go back to Oakland, and you want to make sure you got a good book on him there. That's a cutter. Didn't do a whole lot. Flat. Try to come in on him. Cutter 2-1 count. And the cutter was pretty flat.
Pennington takes it in there. That's a strike. It's a 16-second trip around the bases from contact to touching home plate.
We didn't stand there and watch it, that's for sure.
Exactly right.
You know, James Shields struck him out twice on changeups. You know, you got to lock that in. When you haven't seen a guy much before, you got to kind of lock that in for the next series when you face him. And like I said, on the next road trip. And, you know, Rays are going to win these 2 games, but you got to play them a handful in Oakland next week.
There's a line drive and a base hit into left. So a home run by Rosales, and he does that. That's his 2nd home run of the year, but that's the way he runs the bases when he hits a home run. It's just a matter of form for him. Runner at first now with 1 out.
He certainly won't show anybody up, that's for sure, doing that.
Davis, the hitter. He pops it out of play. Davis, a young outfielder with great speed, and he's been struggling at the plate. That's why he hasn't been in the lineup. But this guy is very fast, capable of stealing a lot of bases, and the A's really have built this year, it would seem, on strong arms and speed, thinking that their pitching would be very good, and they have a lot of pitching talent, and utilizing their speed defensively and on the bases.
Yeah, we haven't even seen Andrew Bailey, thank goodness, in this series, because he's got nasty stuff. Did not get the call. Let's take a look at Rajay Davis, see if he broke his wrists. No, did not. Good call.
It's a strike, and it's 2-2. Well, the Yankees have beaten Baltimore. That's an 8-3 final. And the Red Sox knock off the Blue Jays 2-0. This one into short center. That's going to fall for a base hit. First and second now, 3 straight hits off Andy. Hitter is Steve Tollison. Tollison, making his major league debut in the 8th inning, reached on the error in his first big league trip to the plate. Hit the ball that got under Longoria's glove. Now hits one back into left field. Crawford's there to make the catch. Tollison going after the first pitch, flies out. 2 gone. And it will be Eric Chavez coming up now. Well, the Rays 1 out away from closing this one out. They will hold their 2.5 game lead over New York. Boston winning tonight at the 500 mark. So they'll be 5.5 back. Toronto dropping 6.5 back. And Baltimore 12. Broken bat ground ball. Pena with the toss to Sonnenstein. That'll do it. The Rays are winners. It's a 10-3 final. So the Rays take both games of this series. They're now 4-1 on the homestand, and they are 16-5 overall. The Rays go 11 games over 500. Their season's high last year, 13 games over, and that was in late August. They are 11 over right now with 16 wins and 5 losses by handing Oakland a 10-3 decision here. Shields will pick up his 3rd win. He pitched brilliantly tonight. 12 strikeouts, tying a career high for James Shields. He's 3-0. Dallas Braden, the losing pitcher, he's 3-1. With 2 hours and 57 minutes to play this game before 10,691. The Rays out-hit Oakland 14-10. They do commit 3 errors. Only one of those affected allowing any runs to be scored. The Rays win, going away 10-3, and Todd Callis is standing by with Carlos Pena.
Dwayne, thank you very much. Carlos, 16-5 now, and you guys are scoring runs, 60 runs in the last 7 games. Is this as much fun as you've had coming to the ballpark?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Every single time we can go out there and score runs, it's a blast. Especially us that, as kids, what we're going to do is swing the bat. So we're having a good time.
Tonight, you got to watch James Shields from first base. It seemed like he had that changeup really dive in on the Oakland hitter.
Yeah, you could see the comments when they got to first base. They were just telling me, man, that's a devastating changeup. They can't see it, they can't recognize it. It's just like the fastball. So he's got that cutter to go with it. It's just devastating.
So when the few hitters reached base, all they did was have praise for big game tonight.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's very common. He's got great stuff.
You hit a ball tonight. I thought it was going to be the second ball ever in the Rays tag. You really caught that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought I had a chance, but I needed a little bit more strength, I guess.
Oh, you had plenty of strength. They'll just off to the side. Here's a look. You can see where it hit.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay on top of the ball right there, and he threw me a high fastball, and I was able to put the barrel on it.
We caught you looking at a sheet before one of your bats, at least against Godin. With a team like Oakland, you haven't seen that much. Do you have like a little scouting report you refer to?
Oh yeah, we have great scouting, and what we try to do is make sure we devise a good plan against every single pitcher, and that way we can go out there and have some good at bats. So we have all the information we need. Then after that, it's just trying to execute the plans.
You guys seem to be playing with a level of confidence that is unparalleled. Do you feel that? Is it that right now it just feels like between the pitching, the hitting, the defense, you guys have everything rolling?
You know what? We're very confident. We know that we have the talent that we need. We have all the tools that we need to keep on winning. However, we remain humble. We know that we have to just take it day by day and work really hard. And like tonight, we're just going to enjoy today's win and just get ready for tomorrow. As soon as we leave the park. So never take anything for granted.
I'll let you go and keep working hard, Carlos. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Carlos Pena, guys. Couple of hits, home run, couple of RBIs. Back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. A good night for the Rays here, a 10-3 final as they take both games of the series. Rays postgame will be along in just a moment. We'll take a break and be right back.